Welcome back in, everyone. I've got Derek Chevalier here, a negotiation expert and consultant. And negotiation, Derek, as you are well versed in, this is in almost every area of our life. Negotiation comes into play, right?
Yes, it is. It is kind of highbrow, I'll say that. But the great thing about negotiation is that everyday people can use it as a way to get a raise, to get a job, to increase quality of life. But yeah, every interaction involves some kind of negotiation.
I got to say, I think you're the first negotiation expert that I have ever met, so that's pretty cool. How did you get into this?
Well, I was wanting to go to law school, and on my way, I met a gentleman who became my mentor, Chester Karras, who has one of the largest negotiation training companies on earth. And I spent about 15 years going all over the world doing his program. And then I thought, you know, there are some things that need to evolve. And so for about the last 15 years, I'd been out working with everything from hostage negotiation to weapons to marriage, divorce, buying, selling, all those sort of nonprofits. I do a lot of that work.
And you've obviously written books. This is an Amazon bestseller, is that right?
It is. We're very proud of that. Amazon bestseller, #1 bestseller. So yeah.
That is impressive.
Well, thank you.
So I love that. So what is the primary premise that this book tackles?
So this book, if for folks that have read a book like Getting to Yes or Never Split the Difference, it will identify vulnerabilities in those systems. But the key thing here is this: negotiate people, not circumstances. So often people get into the issue that they're negotiating, but it's not the issue. The issue is inanimate. The person that's going to make a decision about that issue is who you want to understand and learn to communicate with. And so this talks about how to do that. Another thing is not to get too hung up on our own beliefs and assumptions about things as if they're facts, but rather seek to understand before we decide what the strategy or the reaction ought to be.
Sure, especially when you're talking about job situations. Negotiating can be intimidating, right? It's not doesn't come easily for everyone.
It is not a natural thing, but going in, especially today, going into to compete for a job, there are lots of people, the process is involving AI and things like that. So we want to learn, how do we isolate ourselves so we are the person that has the added value that employer is looking for. It has to do with the questions we might ask, the preparation that we do before we go in. And if we have that edge and everyone else has the same thing, we get the pickle.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, it's about a mindset, right?
That's about a mindset. And a few adjustments. Negotiation is a skill, but is one that can be learned. And it's the only skill that I know, or one of the only skills that you can take and turn into dollars and cents, right? Real good negotiators, especially what we call snuff negotiators, actually $1 in their hands is worth much more.
I was listening to some of your podcasts online earlier today, and one of them you talk about how when we're younger, actually, a lot of kids are really good negotiators, right? Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so when you think about a 3 or 4-year-old, they're the greatest 5, 6, 7. They're the greatest negotiators on earth. Well, why is that? Well, first, they're only focused on what they want. Second of all, they don't think about how many times you say no. Fourth, even if they do think about it, it doesn't stop them. About the time we get to middle school, we stop thinking about that and start becoming aware of what everyone else thinks about us. I'd argue that social media has now taken that into adulthood, where we're very focused on us and what other people think and know about us. And so sometimes we will not do something that's in our own best interest because of what we think other people will think.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Last question for you. What would be your advice for someone that is, you know, not the best at negotiating but wants to, you know, strengthen that skill?
I love that question. Buy my book. But that was you
easy,
set
right?
that one up. You set that one up. But more than that, don't just buy the book, open it, and actually learn. We talk about ICSER, take information to knowledge and knowledge to skill, by spending the time to actually use, not just learn and look at the words, but integrate it into your life. That's it.
Awesome. Derek, thank you for being here and sharing such a unique, important skill with us.
Well, thank you. What a
Yes.
privilege. I'm so happy to be here. And I love South Bend, so thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, Derek came all the way from California to be here
did.
today. So this is, I feel pretty cool that 16 News Now at Noon got someone to fly from California to be on the show. So that's
For
pretty
you,
cool.
absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yes, if you're interested in buying Derek's book, we will have a link to that Amazon site for you on WNDU.com. We'll be right back. Thanks, Derek.
Thank you so much.